Hello there. I strongly believe that you shouldn't underestimate the power of sleep. This part of our life is tremendously important. It plays a vital role in your good health and well being. Insufficient and poor quality sleep may be threatening for your longevity and productivity. It can affect how well you work, learn, think, and perform in many areas of your life. Studies suggest that short term consequences of sleep disruption may include increased stress responsivity, reduced quality of life, emotional distress, cognition, memory, and performance deficits. So, reducing sleep time while preparing for your tests or exams won't necessarily increase your chances to score high. And long term consequences may include hypertension, cardiovascular disease, weight related issues, and may increase the risk of certain cancers and even death. As for me, these things are pretty scary, and if you're interested in how you can stay as far away from them as possible and how you can improve your life using science based tips I discuss in my videos, you're welcome to subscribe to my channel. By the way, I will buy more advanced equipment quite soon, so my content, including the audio, will become much better. You can also let me know if this video is good by smashing the like or dislike button. Getting back to the topic at hand, how much sleep do we actually need? National Sleep Foundation guidelines advise that healthy adults need between 7 and 9 hours of sleep per night. If you sleep for 8 hours every day, you'll basically spend a third of your life not being awake. This sounds like quite a large number. That's maybe one of the reasons people sometimes don't pay so much of attention to sleeping enough and trim those 8 hours so they will get more time for doing something else, working, studying, or other important things, or maybe not so important things. Speaking of not getting sufficient rest at night, in 2020, almost a third of United States adult population reported short sleep duration. As you might guess, short sleep duration is less than 7 hours per night. But why people face sleep disruption in the first place? Actually, there may be many reasons behind that, such as consuming excessive amounts of caffeine, drinking alcohol, shift work, excessive noise, light, parenting young children, and many more. Psychological, genetic, social, and biologic factors can contribute to your amount and quality of sleep. What about me? I absolutely love my ability to fall asleep quickly and never wake up throughout the night. I build my daily routine so that my circadian rhythm won't be changing drastically throughout my week. It works great, and believe it or not, I consider it to be one of the greatest investments in the quality and length of my life. The topic of sleep is broad and quite interesting. Of course, I won't be able to fully cover it today, but again, I'll definitely talk about it in my other videos on this channel. By the end of this video, you'll discover some science-backed tips on how you can master your sleep, and as usual, I will be glad to know your opinion on them and discuss it with you in the comments down below. Sunlight. Starting with one of the pillars of your circadian rhythm. Light has profoundly influenced the evolution of life on Earth. You know from school that plants and some other organisms can convert light energy into chemical energy. It's thought that one of the first organisms which used it were green sulfur bacteria. Photosynthesis is a crucial for a plant process. We people don't have this ability, but light still plays a large role in our lives. By viewing light, we synchronize the circadian clock to the solar day, and this is how our body decides whether it's time to go to sleep or maybe wake up. That's why some shift workers who see intense light can function at night without feeling of sleepiness. By the way, do you know what is social jet lag? It's the difference in the timing of person's sleep period between work days and rest days. Maybe you like to sleep a little more on weekends compared to your work days. This study, which involved slightly less than 15,000 students, claims that there was a correlation of social jet lag with decreased academic performance, especially in late chronotypes. But correlation doesn't imply causation. In order for our inner clock to work well, we should be exposed to light throughout the daytime. Perfectly, we should use daylight. That's why it may be beneficial to go for a walk in the morning and view sunlight. But if you can't do it for some reason, use artificial sources. If you're interested in recommendations for how much light you should view throughout your day and night, levels of bright light, I'll leave a link in the description under this video. And if you're wondering how you can measure it, you can use some applications for your smartphone. According to a poll conducted in 2022, nearly half of Americans say they aren't exposed to the recommended levels of bright light when indoors in the morning and afternoon. And when it comes to light and sleep, it's pretty common to talk about blue light exposure in the evening. Blue light in the evening suppresses melatonin. And note that I'm talking about evening. You shouldn't block blue light in the morning or afternoon. If you have blue light blocking eyeglasses, you don't have to wear them all day, at least if your doctor doesn't say to do it. And after exposure to blue light in the evening, it takes only 15 minutes to recover your melatonin levels after cessation of the exposure. So I believe you don't have to avoid your phone, laptop and other devices much earlier than 15 minutes before going to bed if you want to improve your sleep. I mean, you can do it for other purposes, but if you're doing it because of the exposure to blue light, maybe you don't have to do it too early. A massive chunk of this video was devoted to light. However, it's not surprising. Light is very important and we should know when it's optimal time to be exposed to it and when it will only worsen your sleep. I hope some facts were new for you. Actually, I learned some new things while creating this video, and I use tips I've just talked about on a regular basis. I even went for a long walk this morning. It was sunny outside and it felt absolutely awesome. Habits are absolutely crucial. That's why I talk about them in most of my videos. What common bad habits can negatively affect your sleep? Let's talk about smoking and drinking. And before we get started, I want to point out that I included in my video this part not to shame someone who sticks to such habits. I'm not here to pass judgments about it. I just want to share with you things you can consider if you or your friends do it. When we do something dangerous, we should be aware of the risks we face and decide whether it's worth it. There are some studies showing that smoking nicotine can negatively affect sleep. This one shows that smokers had shorter sleep period time, longer sleep latency, which means that they needed more time to fall asleep, more sleep apneas and leg movements in sleep than people who don't smoke. That's a lot of stuff, so the chances are, by quitting smoking nicotine, you may improve your life tremendously. And it's not about sleep only. Smoking may affect other areas of your life. And you won't be surprised if I tell you that research concludes that non-smokers live longer and have lower risk of some diseases. Another bad habit is drinking alcohol. Some people use this as a self-prescribed sleep medicine. This case is a little bit more complicated. It might feel like it improves sleep. Consuming alcohol actually can cause a reduction in sleep onset latency. That's why it may seem good for some people to consume it, trying to fall asleep earlier, but it may decrease sleep quality nonetheless. Sleep quality was lower on nights following alcohol use in participants from this study. Even moderate consumption before sleep may reduce melatonin level. Now it's time for the summary. Sleep is vital. It's important for good health and well-being, and poor sleep may be dangerous for your productivity and longevity. There are many reasons behind poor sleep, and if you have serious problems with it, of course it's better to visit a professional than watch this video. From 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night is enough for adults, but keep in mind that falling asleep takes some time too. If you stick to these norms, you'll spend about a third of your life sleeping. Even though it seems a lot, that's something you should be okay with. When it comes to proper sleeping, light is one of the first things you should think about. You should expose yourself to light, ideally sunlight, early in the day, so brief walk may work great. And you can also limit usage of devices which emit blue light 15 minutes before going to sleep. Another two things you should take into consideration is alcohol and nicotine. Smoking tobacco is shown to decrease sleep quality, and even though alcohol may make you fall asleep faster, it still can be detrimental to your health and sleep, so it's better to avoid drinking before going to sleep. I truly hope this video was helpful. Subscribe if you want to see more, and have a good day.